I am Rajiv Saxena, Associate Professor, Smriti College of Pharmaceutical Education, Indore. In today's video lecture, we'll discuss about the microbiological spoilage. Here, we are basically concerned with the microbiological spoilage of the pharmaceutical product. Now, on the basis of the attack of the microorganism, we can find out that the pharmaceutical product can be divided into two categories. Number one, the product which are sterile in nature, whereas the product that belongs to the category which are non-sterile in nature. So, if you are talking about the sterile product, maybe for example the parenteral preparation, various eye drops, ear drops, these are the preparations which are meant to be sterile in nature. And we know what is sterilization. It is the process of the complete removal of all the viable form of the microorganism. So definitely in these type of the preparation, the presence of the microorganism is not at all desirable. But even if you are talking about the non-sterile product also, like if you are talking about certain oral preparation, maybe some topical preparation, in that case also the presence of the microorganism should not be very high. Because if some infectious microorganism, some pathogenic microorganism is available in these kind of the product also, that may cause a certain physical and chemical changes in the pharmaceutical product, and we can call that this product is microbiologically spoiled. So in both the cases, if you are talking about any pharmaceutical preparation, maybe it is a parenteral preparation, maybe it is a non-sterile preparation, the attack of the microorganism is generally not desirable, and especially if that attack is by some pathogenic microorganism, then definitely it can lead to some serious health issues to the patient. Now, not only the patient is affected by the contaminated product, but also if suppose that product is being checked before it has been supplied into the market, then definitely it can lead to a very loss to a company or the manufacturer who is actually involved in the production of these categories of the product. Because if the products are getting contaminated very easily, then definitely many batches has to be rejected, and that may causes the financial loss to the manufacturer. So not only because of the contamination the manufacturer is affected, but also the patient is affected because of the ingestion of that contaminated product. So especially if we are talking about the pharmaceutical product, we need to consider the presence of the microorganism so that our product will not be contaminated. Now coming to the various types of the microbiological spoilage. Now number one is the infection induced by the contaminated pharmaceutical product. Definitely here the pharmaceutical product, if you are talking about any pharmaceutical product or pharmaceutical product in the form of any formulation, maybe in the tablet form, maybe in the capsule form, maybe in the eye drop form, maybe in the parenteral form, whatever the type of the formulation is being dispensed, then definitely these formulation is having the tendency to be spoiled by the microorganism. As you can see some cases like the tablets and the capsule, the salmonella species can easily attack the tablets and the capsule and may cause a salmonella infection. And for example, eye drops, Pseudomonas aeruginosa in microorganism, they can easily attack the eye drop and may cause a certain eye infection. Many cases like in few years back in UK, one case was found that many children died because of the septicemia, and that septicemia was caused because of the Pseudomonas species, and that Pseudomonas species is actually available in the nutritional parenteral fluid that was given to the children. So definitely these kind of the cases give us an example that this pharmaceutical preparation is dangerous also, because if that contaminated microorganism is available in this formulation, maybe in the tablet, capsule, parenteral, then they may cause a very serious health issue to the patient or the person who is taking those medication. Now coming to the physical and the chemical deterioration of the product. Now because of the attack of these microorganisms, when the microorganisms start growing in this pharmaceutical preparation, then as soon as it will grow, as soon as it will multiply, then definitely what will happen? They can cause a certain changes in the chemical structure or the chemical composition of that particular drug or that particular formulation, and because of that chemical changes also some physical changes are also appeared in the preparation, and it makes the preparation in such a way that it is not being acceptable by the patient. So the physical and the chemical changes by the contaminating microorganism is a very common example. Now coming to the observable effect of microbial attack on the product. But because of the growth of the microorganism, because of the multiplication of the microorganism, we can find that the pharmaceutical product is getting spoiled. And various organoleptic observation can definitely help us in analyzing that the pharmaceutical product is now deteriorated or it has been attacked by the microorganism. For example, some taste is become sour, maybe some fishy amines is giving some foul smell, maybe there is some change in the color of the preparation, or maybe some phase separation upon standing of the pharmaceutical preparation is taking place. So these type of organoleptic observation can tell us that the pharmaceutical product has been attacked by the microorganism. Now coming to the ingredients susceptible to the microorganism attack. We know that the pharmaceutical preparation is comprising of two main ingredients. One is the therapeutic agent, that is the API, and along with that various excipients are available. So many therapeutic agents and the excipient, they can easily be attacked by the microorganism. If we are talking about the therapeutic agent like aspirin, salicylic acid, they can easily be attacked by the microorganism and they can easily be spoiled by many categories of the microbes. If we are talking about the surface active agent, if you are preparing some emulsion, if you are preparing some suspension, if you are adding the suspending agent like some cationic surfactant or maybe some anionic surfactant or maybe some non-ionic surfactant like for example alkyl polyoxyethylene etc., they are also having the tendency to be spoiled by the microorganism. Now coming to the polymers and the humectants, our formulation generally consists of various categories of the polymer. Maybe in our preparation we are adding starch, pectin, cellulose, tragacan. So these are the polymers which are having the natural origin. So it has been observed that if the polymer or the humectant which is having the natural origin, so these natural origin polymers, they can easily be attacked by the microorganism. So if they are having some animal sources, if they are having some plant sources, then these natural sources, they are having the tendency to be spoiled easily by the infectious microorganism. Now coming to the fats and the oils, if you are talking about the preparation like emulsion, and if the emulsion is especially belonging to the category of oil and water type, then definitely the oil phase is being attacked by the microorganism. Then sweetening, flavoring and coloring agent. Okay, so sweetening, if suppose if you are preparing some syrup, then definitely we are adding some sugar, so sugar part. Some flavoring agents like peppermint water, chloroform water, various coloring agents like amaranth, they are also having the tendency to be easily attacked by the spoiling microorganism. Now if we are talking about the preservatives and the disinfectants, so we know that we are adding the preservative in order to protect the pharmaceutical preparation from the contamination. But in the previous videos, we have also discussed that if we are adding a preservative, then there is a specific amount of the preservative that gives us the effect of preservation. Or maybe if we are adding certain disinfectant, then definitely also if we are applying the disinfectant, then also some desirable percentage of that disinfectant is needed. But if you are not choosing that particular concentration, that particular percentage, then it has been observed that the pharmaceutical preparation even can be spoiled in the presence of the preservative. And it is also observed that many preservative, like for example 4-hydroxybenzoate, it is generally added in various eye preparation. So these type of preservative, they can also having the tendency to be attacked by the microorganism. So in short, we can say that if we are preparing any pharmaceutical product, then we need to check the presence of the microorganism both in the therapeutic agent also and also in various excipient that we are using for the preparation. So initially if we will check that the microorganism is available or some contamination is available in the raw material, then that raw material should not be used for the preparation. So this is all about the microbiological spoilage. The microorganism can spoil the pharmaceutical product, changes the physical appearance and the chemical quality of the drug or the formulation, and because of that various observable signs of contamination are actually visible, and that infectious microorganism, if it is available in the pharmaceutical preparation, then definitely it will causes a health hazard to the patient who is consuming it, and also to the manufacturer also, because a great loss can take place because of the contamination of the pharmaceutical product by the microorganism. Thank you.